So I've been watching a lot of social media and parents and teachers and kids talking about going back to school or what we should do. And a theme that comes up is, especially on Facebook, has been my husband or wife is back at work. Why can't teachers go back to work? Well, here's some perspective. I've been to many of the workplaces that have reopened since this whole pandemic thing started, and these are some things that I've noticed. There has been lots of training and lots of preparation. There's plexiglass everywhere. There's stickers on the floor requesting 6 feet of distance. Many stores and workplaces require face masks for entry or you can't get in. Smart and Final is the one place that I've noticed. You cannot go into that store without a face mask on. And once you're in, there's a loudspeaker that requests every 10 or 15 minutes to remember social distancing for the health and safety of the workers and everybody in there. I've been to the dentist several times since they've reopened, and everyone in there is in full PPE. And that gets thrown away after every patient. I asked my dentist what that costs, and he said $10 about every time. And I said, every time? And he says, well, I have to dispose of this gear every time I leave this room. And it costs $10 every time. $10. He left the room 4 or 5 times on my visit. That was $50 worth of plastic trash for just 1 hour and my visit to the dentist. There's no more waiting room hangout time. Most of the professionals that I've visited since reopening have asked me to wait in the car and to be called in. And then there's a thermometer at the door. I've been told that 2 weeks before my next dental visit, I will get a questionnaire where they will call and ask me to see if I'm healthy. 2 weeks before. At my wife's work, she works for an optometrist, they are seeing about half as many patients because patients are scheduled further apart. There is one patient in the building at a time, and a team of 4 or 5 people move that patient through their visit. And every surface that patient has come in contact with is sanitized before the next patient arrives. All of this done for worker and patient safety. Classrooms don't work like this. 30 or 40 kids barrel through the door, high-five each other, hug, crammed into a tight space, and that's what I love about teaching. In the course of my workday, I might have close to 200 contacts with people in my classroom. At $10 a set of PPE, that's only $2,000 a day. I figured it out. If I space the desks 6 feet apart, I can have 12 desks in my classroom. I'm not sure what I'll do with the other 25. Will I need to sanitize every surface before the next kids sit down? Kids get up, they move around, they interact, they approach my desk, they talk. Papers are shuffled, things are distributed, and basically there's a lot of sharing. Right now, I don't think sharing is caring. I think sharing could be deadly. I was trained to teach kids. I wasn't trained in pandemic mitigation techniques. I'm still waiting to see what the plan is. School starts pretty soon, and we aren't ready like the other professionals were when they reopened. They had spent years learning how to make sure that people don't get sicker from visiting them. Their livelihoods depend on it. Let's try the distance learning thing for a while. It's not going to be great, but it will help to ensure that once we have a vaccine, that we will actually have a teaching staff that can welcome kids back to a traditional school. If we think about the future instead of today, we'll all be a little bit better off.